Hello, and today I am honored to have as a guest for our Home Society Design Talks, Wafi Tagleb, owner of WT Design by Wafi Tagleb, one of the most prestigious residential and commercial interior design firms in the world. Hello, Wafi. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have you here in Design Talks.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to meet you too.
At Home Society, we believe that talking, discussing, and exploring ideas together is essential to the design process. Our goal is to create a platform with a new vision of micro and macro trends within the interior design industry, generating added value for the design lover community. Design Talks includes interview with leading designers, interior designers just like you, showrooms to discover and discuss what's trending and the whole creative process of any project. So Wafi, I would like to start by asking you, and from what I've gathered, that you are based in Dubai, but you have been working in the Middle East and Gulf area. You have created as well your own interior design studio in 2020 called WT Design by Wafi Tagleb. And I'd like to ask you if you could tell us a bit more about your journey as an interior designer and what inspired you personally to pursue this career path.
Yes, hi again. Actually, I'm a Syrian architect. I graduated in 2006 from Syria, and I started my career in interior design and consultant office till 2011. That time I moved to Dubai, almost end of 2011. I worked in many interior design and consultant company till 2020. That time, I always had the passion, and keen eye for starting my own dream. Till I made it and opened my own company. This happened in the ending of 2020 during COVID time. Last year was good for me, and I've been lucky enough to work with exciting residential projects in UAE, here in Dubai and in Saudi Arabia. And I hope this year will be better, inshallah.
Oh, so nice. And I also could see that the motto of WT Design is "You dream, we make it." And I would like to ask you, how do you showcase this philosophy in your design projects?
Yes, as you know, the interior design, it's like the art of practice of spacing, planning, and combination between art and engineering. For me, creating space and enhancing productivity, considering of using the space according to client needs. So the art always putting all together in a beautiful way through realistic render and 3D design. That's why I always consider that the design it's my client dream, it's my client need, and my goal, to transform this dream and make it an actual and creative way. That's why the motto is "You dream it, we make it." So my client dream it, we make it.
Perfect. And what are your main sources of inspiration in your work?
For me, design inspiration comes in all shape and size. Great source of my inspiration are take walks and travel. Sometimes the best way, to get inspired is to leave the office and simply go to walk. So, and also travel expose you to new culture, people, and experiences. So for me, it's like the source of design inspiration. And this happened by immersing yourself in an area that's far from home. You break out of your comfort zone and open your eye to new possibility in your creative project. For me, also another important source of my inspiration are social media platforms such as Instagram and Pinterest.
Great. And do you find that there is a steady style that can be found in your projects?
Great starting point for an interior design for me project is to learn a bit about each of the styles. and how they differ, from one to another, like modern and contemporary, minimalist, classic, or even new classic. All of those style, I use it in my project, depend on my client, desire or mood. But I always try to guide my client to better design, version. So if he doesn't have reference, I always try to leave the initial design for me and for my style. Remembering he come to me, because he need me to arrange his thoughts and in simple way to understand and to achieve his goal during the design process.
Nice. And how do you find the right balance between showcasing your interior design style while meeting your client's needs and personality? I'm sure there must be a challenge.
As I said before, I try to understand my client needs and what they are looking for. We have something like called in Arabic Bayt al-Umar. Bayt al-Umar, it's like Arabic word to describe the dream house or like home sweet home. So I'm trying to know more about my client personality and stories, as it is so important part to mix those factors, like personality and stories into my design. For me, I use different texture material. I love to also use artworks and status. So you will see this in my design to make it memorable. And also I like to incorporate elements of art, brand, furniture in my works. So it is like my focal point always to show and reflect what my client loves in his sweet home design.
Great. And perhaps you could tell our viewers and listeners about a project you have worked on with previous clients of yours, and what are your favorite memories of designing?
For me, last year was strange, for like half of my project was for Saudi Arabia clients, and that was biggest challenge for me, because it was not easy to travel there and visit the site, but I can say that those was the best project I worked on it, and the clients were very happy for the achievement and result. What about my favorite design? I can say this is the first villa for me in Dubai in 2020. I still remember really what we did. We did great job there regarding the design and actual work. And always I link my success to by client feedback and his satisfaction.
Great. And taking in consideration that you work with an international scale, I would like to ask you, what are the biggest challenges when working then on a global scale and working with other cultures and new realities? How do you face it?
Actually, our culture influences the way in which we see the world. Variety of viewpoint, along with the wide-ranging personal and professional experience of an international and global scale, can offer a new perspective that inspire you to see the world, in different way. In Dubai, I feel like it's small mock-up of entire world culture. So your client will be, from different nationality, with different beliefs and thoughts. For me, one of the biggest challenge is introducing trends and timeless style, because it is one of the hardest roles to introduce the latest trend while maintaining sense of timeless style. You don't want your client to feel frustrated when a space is outdated after a few months. So staying on the top of the trends and knowing how to tastefully introduce them is one of the greatest challenges for me.
Oh. And I would like also to ask you, right now, what is your favorite current trend that's been around interior design world, and why?
Honestly, there is a lot, but for me, I love the trend called like back to nature. For me and many designers, like nature, emotion, timeless design are three elements to create a dream house. I see many of my clients, prefer to include nature in their home, not only in landscape, also inside, but also I like also to use the nature element in my design, such as a marble, wood, because it keeps your space alive and rich of memories.
I loved your answer because this really connects with our next question, which is there, are there any particular home society products that you feel that could complement your interior design style in any way?
Yes, actually, to be honest, I'm a big fan of Bravo and Bocado Lobo. Since I started working in Dubai in 2011, I was inspired by the amazing furniture pieces, which can make any design flawless. For Bravo, I love the walls sofa, or I think you call it land of castles. I love how the curved velvet mixed with golden polish nail head trim, which can make my reception corner more elegant and classy. For Mason Valentine, really I'm in love with the Newton bathtub. I use it in many of my projects. Really, it's a treasure, and it's like a sculpture of design inspiration, and which it's really enhance my path design and be like the focal point of entire path. I use both of them in many of my designs.
Great, thank you so much for your feedback. And we are coming to the end of our design talks. And so lastly, I would like to ask you, what is the best advice that you could give to any designer?
Actually, there is many advice, but my best advice to designers and me also to focus always on lighting and furniture. For me, in my design, it's equal like 50% of the design, lighting and furniture. And you always must think about that you are the client, you are the end users. Believe me, if you put all of your beautiful thoughts in the design, the client will never reject or dislike it. Defend on your idea, try to explain it to client. You remember always, like, the key to understand the client is to understand his needs first. For me, the more in-depth knowledge you have, the more it will help you to create amazing design.
God, thank you so much, Wafi, for this interview. We really appreciate your time, and we found this interview so interesting. And for our viewers and listeners, I would like to thank you too for being here, and ask you to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify for more design talks, and be tuned to our next episodes. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much.